I've wanted to talk about this for a long time now, and today I finally decided to make a little video and voice some thoughts and opinions. I'm an independent artist, I don't have management, I don't have a record label, and I think I know better than most people the real costs of making music. So let's say you want to make a song, make a pop song, and release it on Spotify and Apple Music. So first of all, you'll have to write, produce, and arrange the song, which if you can't do those things yourself, you'll have to book studio time and hire a producer that will do them with you. And then on top of that, you will have to send the track to a mixing and mastering engineer to have it mixed and mastered. This whole process is very, very expensive, especially the final stages. I think mixing and mastering are crucial when it comes to any song, especially pop songs. So that's going to be a huge chunk of your budget just gone like this on mastering. I could do another video about the importance of mastering. But anyway, so after the song is done, you'll have to plan the release. You'll have to find a digital distributor, which is pretty easy and they're quite cheap. I use TuneCore and DistroKid. And basically what they are the medium between you as an artist and digital platforms, digital retailers and streaming services. So basically you send them your song and you pay a little fee and then they send it to everyone. So they send it to Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Amazon Music, iTunes. You can choose, obviously, but generally, that's what they do. They'll send it to all available music platforms. So after choosing the release date, you will then have to plan all your visual content, which is going to have to be catchy. It's going to have to be mesmerizing enough for someone to just see it on their phone and click. I think that's the most important part here. You have to think marketing. Like, this is very important, I think, and people don't understand that if you want to be an independent artist or if you want to be an artist, you have to have some knowledge of the industry. So you have to know how to promote and how to market yourself correctly. So your image, your visual content, your videos, what you say, what you do, what kind of things you put on your social media, all of this is extremely important if you want your music to succeed. As someone who has always been independent, over time you kind of learn how to do things, but it's very difficult, obviously. And let's say this is your first release, you can obviously pay an agency or I don't know, like a marketing agency or a PR agency to help you with that whole aspect. Obviously, they are expensive as well, but especially with marketing your song, I think it's very important that you do it right, not to waste what you've done, otherwise your song will just flop. So you need to at least make sure to give it a chance. You need to make sure that your song can do it. So after you've taken care of all this, you'll have to talk to a PR company or PR agency to help you get exposure when the song is out. So what a PR agency does is they take care of obviously PR is public relations, so they send it to magazines, they send it to blogs. They try and get a momentum going for the song. So months after all this planning is done, your song finally comes out. You see people talking about it, you see people listening to it. It's a beautiful moment, and maybe some articles, you get playlisted, it's all great, and it's honestly really, really, it's special when you have music out in the world. Especially if you make something personal, it's quite an experience. And maybe the song is doing really well, maybe it's getting streamed, maybe some people are buying it on iTunes, and it's so fun until you obviously look at your bank statement, because after months, you see that, thousands and thousands of plays and maybe some copies sold amount to pretty much nothing of what you spent on it. This is where it gets controversial because I don't know if you guys are aware, but Spotify, being the biggest streaming service out there, is also the one that's paying its artists the lowest. I don't know. I think the rate is around like $0.0032 per play. I don't know if that's the actual rate because, there's a lot of speculation online about this. But I would say that's around what we actually get paid. And I think Apple Music is around double that. But anyway, so I didn't want to make this video to rant about the fact that Spotify is not paying us enough. There's a lot of people doing that already, and I'm a no one. I'm just a little independent artist. But what I've noticed is that since the growth in popularity of music streaming, people tend to undervalue what we do. So I don't have a problem with streaming music. I don't have a problem with streaming films, but I do have a problem with the fact that because it's so easy to access music these days, and it's so easy to not even pay for music, people don't have any idea of the amount of work and money that it goes into making songs. So what is really upsetting to me is not that people don't know the extent of what I do, because I think obviously if you're not in music, you obviously don't have a clue about all the things that you have to do, which is the same as, I'm not in astrophysics, so I don't really know what goes on in that world. But because people don't value the music that they listen to, they also don't value the profession itself. They don't think it's worth it. They don't think it's worth their money. They don't think you are worth their money. Every time I release something, I have a lot of people come to me and say, oh, I really like your new song, I've listened to it, it's amazing. And regardless of the fact that most times they haven't, but then, I always ask them, oh, could you buy it on iTunes or Bandcamp? Because, then I would actually get some money. And then that's too much for them, I have so many people that do it. Like, a song on iTunes is like $0.99 or $1.29 or $1.79, depending on where you are. But like, songs are cheaper than coffee, and a lot of the times it's really ironic that then, your friends will say, no, I'm sorry, I really don't want to buy your song, but let's go out for a coffee. And you want to go, but why? Like, I don't want coffee. I would love to have your support in this, which costs less than coffee. But if you want to go out and spend triple that on a cup of coffee, let's do it. But it's completely demoralizing. It's degrading. I think what I wanted to talk about in this video was the fact that I think people should be more aware of the art that they surround themselves with, be it film, television, paintings, photography, graphic design, and music. Be aware of the value of people. Because not only does this affect our pockets, our finances, and our ability to live and continue making what we make, but also it affects us as humans. We feel respected. If I talk to someone who knows the value of music, it just makes my day way better because I feel like I'm not so undervalued, underappreciated. It's really ironic to me because, especially during this time of quarantine, performers and artists have seen so little help. But then people expect Netflix to put out their best movies. Who do you think is making those movies? Or, people have been complaining about releases, music releases all year long. They've said, oh, that we haven't had a lot. People are pushing back their albums. Like, why do you think that is? I'm not getting paid from Spotify, and I'm not getting paid from live gigs and whatever. So I'm not getting any help from the state or whatever. So, and on top of that, I have to deal with people that tell me, "Oh, I don't pay for music. I don't want to, I never pay for. I don't pay for Spotify. I don't pay for Apple Music. I just listen to it on YouTube, which pays even less." I think people are completely alienated from the real costs of what they use. And in this case, if I'm talking about music, I'm talking about art that you can utilize, like films. People don't know that blood, sweat, tears, money, and a whole side of you goes into this. And then they feel the right to tell you that they don't even pay for music, or that, they're not going to buy your song, but let's go for a coffee. So this video is nothing more than me just talking about stuff, but I hope this opens up a conversation about respect, about opportunity, and about fairness. That being said, please go support the artists that you like. Buy an album on iTunes, on Bandcamp, preferably. Just show us that you care.